And welcome to Toyota GAZOO Racing Hour. I'm Sean Summerfield. Tonight we check in with Brendan Hartley, Toyota hypercar driver. We review a successful WRC Rally Sweden for Toyota team driver Kalle Rovanperä, and later Andrew Waite takes the GR Yaris to the track. But first we go back to Hampton Downs for highlights from round 3 of the Toyota 86 Championship.
Blustery conditions, but no rain for the start of race 1 as Simon Evans from the pole on the left-hand side, the championship leader, took the lead ahead of the current champion, Rowan Shepherd. Hugo Allen took the outside run, trying to go around McCutcheon, and did so, moving into 3rd place. But as they headed down to turn 2, Evans having to defend. Hugo Allen putting pressure on Shepherd. Shepherd holding the line as they went side by side over the top of 3 and headed down towards the right-hander 4. Good start, good clean start. Justin Allen in the mix, touching there for a moment. Shepherd having to really defend as well as try to take on the man in front of him, Evans. Into the dipper and 2 cars coming together, but that sent the number 15, Clay Osborne, wide on the exit, but he gathers it together. Then suddenly, Shepherd into the sweeper, makes a move. Hugo Allen still in 3rd place. But as they come to line, side-by-side action now. Shepherd got great drive out of the last corner, the sweeper, and takes the lead. And with it goes Hugo Allen. So Evans comes back and defends. Hugo Allen, for a moment, gets his nose ahead. Shepherd takes the lead. Then Todd Prujon gets a wheel on the grass and smashes into the fence. Nasty hit for the 74. Out comes the safety car. And at the restart, the weather not looking good. Wipers on for the leader in the Speedworks car, Rowan Shepherd. Then goes Finn Osborne onto the grass for a moment, but gathers it all together. Raindrops starting to fall heavier now, as coming to a slowdown, and into the pits goes Ronan Murphy as the weather turns quickly. McCutcheon in 4th place, trying to make some ground up, but coming to the line, it's Rowan Shepherd, the champion, who takes victory over Hugo Allen, with, once again, championship leader on the podium, Simon Evans. Race 2, reverse top 10, and that gave Zach Stitchbury and Dion Pitt a chance for 2nd. Pitt getting the better start and getting ahead of his rival Stitchbury into the 1st corner. John Penny in the 22, diving into 3rd place. Work to do there for Shepherd and Evans as they had to sight their way through, but this is where Evans is so good. Everybody cleanly through the first few corners, but then International Motorsports' Todd Foster in the way Kato 222 stops and is out of contention. Plenty of good battles going on, a really good scrap in the midfield as both Shepherd and this man, number 4, Simon Evans, the championship leader, who started the weekend some 61 points ahead of his rival Shepherd, trying to battle his way through. He was in 7th at this point. More fisticuffs, Hugo Allen involved, McCutcheon goes wide. Everybody takes avoiding action. McCutcheon gets back on track, and they start to settle down, and bit by bit, passing Stitchbury this time. Simon Evans scything his way through as he knows best. Still at the front, it was Dion Pitt. Justin Allen, though, making a very good lunge at the dipper and making it stick. Brilliant stuff by Justin Allen, who started the weekend 2nd in the championship. So good rivalry here between the 99 and the number 4. But the most important battle was between the championship contenders as Rowan Shepherd comes along Simon Evans, but then hits the grass and loses out this time. Still side by side as they approach turn 2. Evans holding on, Justin Allen trying to get a piece of it. And just behind them, Hugo Allen. Shepherd on great form, but struggling a little bit. His engineer Kerry working from home. Over the weekend, Stitchbury in a good battle with the 84. This one another key battle, but this one an Allen key battle because it was Hugo Allen and Justin Allen. No relation and fighting hard. Dion Pitt now under pressure from John Penny on the final corner. Penny coming on the last lap. Gets great drive, saved his tyres, and just beats Dion Pitt to the line. And the master takes the victory over the pupil as John Penny takes victory over Dion Pitt to win race 2.
We'll have more 86 later in the show. For now, though, we focus on the World Endurance Championship, which starts in March. And Kiwi driver Brendan Hartley is once again a key member of the Toyota GAZOO racing team, and he was part of pre-season testing earlier this month.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of excitement around the 2022 hypercar season. Hopefully some new competitors coming at the end of the year. The target for the 2022 season is of course the World Championship and the Le Mans 24 Hour. I think personally the Le Mans 24 Hour is slightly further up the list, but obviously as a team we focus on winning both. On a personal level it's always the same as always. I'm doing the best that I can in a safe manner, you know, obviously no mistakes and being as fast as I can at all times. That's always the goal. We're currently here in Port Ricard. It's an important part of our season, doing these endurance tests. It's number 2 of this season. It's a good test track. It has a very long straight line. It has windy conditions. Yeah, it's a very important part of the preparation for the 2022 season. We're all very excited to have more competition in the future. Quite a few different manufacturers signed up. Some hopefully entering this year, more in 23 and beyond. I think we need that level of competition. It's motorsport. We need that pressure, and that's what we're here for. You know, developing road car technology, the spirit of racing. But it's all nothing if we don't have the competition. So I think we're all excited for that. We had an unbeaten year last year, and we're hoping to do the same this year.
And the WEC starts with a prologue at Sebring on the 12th and 13th of March, followed a week later by the Sebring 6 Hours. Then we head to Spa-Francorchamps on the 7th of May, the 24 Hours of Le Mans 11th and 12th of June, Monza in July, Fuji in September, and the final round, the 8-hour race in Bahrain on the 12th of November. Next up, we're in Sweden for the WRC, and we meet a young driver taking his simulator experience into the real world of the Toyota 86 Championship. Welcome back to Toyota GAZOO Racing Hour. Now, last weekend's Rally Sweden saw Kalle Rovanperä emulate his father's victory in the same event 21 years ago. Now, the rally itself was run in the north of the country and in perfect snow conditions.
It was really nice to be on snow. This year the Rally Sweden looks quite different style of stages, but anyway, a lot of snow, big banks, it's always nice to drive.
Looking forward to it. Obviously it's not going to be easy out there, I don't think. The conditions are changing all the time. There's a lot of snow, but the temperature is down at -16 and then +2. It's changing quickly, but it'll be similar for everyone, I guess.
I've been looking forward to this moment for a few months now, so it's great to be here. New rally for everyone, proper winter conditions, so good weekend ahead.
I think for our biggest challenge will be maybe opening the road on Friday. It looks that the Friday stages, at least one of them is in quite snowy condition, not so clean, so there will be some opening for us to do, but otherwise it should be quite clear. Yeah, this day was better than I was expecting. For sure, the first loop was quite good. We were really well in the fight all the time, and then second pass we expected to be a bit more difficult, and it was. Some places really difficult, but the goal was just to come through without mistakes and try to push on, not to lose too much time, and then we managed it quite well.
During the afternoon we started off pretty well in some pretty difficult conditions, but probably took a bit more out of the tyres than we would have liked, and probably paid then quite a big price at the end of the loop. So yeah, not ideal, but of course we're still in contention at least, and we can work with that.
It was not perfect day, but close to it. It's so nice to be in the battle of well, maybe still for the victory as well, but at least we are we are fighting for the podium, what was anyway the, let's say, the target beforehand. And one stage win today. Good comeback, good comeback. Yeah, the morning started pretty well. We had a good time on the opener, and since then I don't know what happened. I'm feeling really good with the car today. It feels better than yesterday. It feels that I'm the boss inside. I have full control. I can do what I want, but I just can't put it onto the times. It seems we are losing some time. I don't know, like on the last one. I don't know why. So we need to investigate.
It's been good fun. Really enjoyed the rally actually this afternoon, and the car's been working generally pretty well. But of course, Calais had a little edge, let's say, on some stages this afternoon, and of course he's grown his advantage now, but it's still pretty tight.
Yeah, you have to trust in this condition. You need to push a lot, and I think Jon said also after the middle one this afternoon that it's enjoyable to be co-driving even because you can see that you're all the time on the limit, and it's a bit hectic, but that's rally also.
Yeah, so everything was going okay in the stage, but on a long left-hander we aggressively lost the rear end. It sort of snapped, and unfortunately I wasn't able to bring it back. So we had quite a high-speed spin. We were able to continue, but unfortunately then we didn't have the hybrid lights active, and we couldn't get them active, and therefore we had to stop for that reason.
We didn't have any issues with the car during the weekend. And yeah, I'm a bit speechless at the moment. You know, it's just great to be back and to be on the podium. It's, yeah, anyway, it was the target, but I knew it's hard and tough target, but we managed, and I'm so happy.
It was a really nice fight the whole weekend, and being first car on the road in the Friday, this is really nice result for us. But now I felt really comfortable the whole weekend in the car. Big job for the guys also in the team to make the car all the time better and make me comfortable in the car.
And that awesome victory puts Rovanperä into the lead in the drivers' standings, while Toyota GAZOO Racing take a 24-point lead in the Manufacturers' Championship. Back home, and Hugo Allen is a young driver with a passion for sim racing. But this season he's swapped virtual for reality. And as it turns out, he's pretty good.
Hi, my name's Hugo Allen. I'm 17 and I'm from Auckland. Well, my dad used to race Porsche Cup in New Zealand. So it's in the family. So the connections are there. But I started in sim racing, so it's alternative to go-karting. And everything sort of took off from there, racing in competitive series with people from the UK and America, so all over the world, which I feel has grown me quite a lot. You've got all the feelings. You don't get that in the sim. You only get it through your hands and your wrists. So it's important to get used to that when you jump in a real car. It was quite tricky at the start for me, but it's just a case of building into it, getting used to it. At the end of the day, you're doing the exact same thing. So, you know, other sport, like ball sports, you can't simulate those in your bedroom, can you? So, it's the closest you get, and it's, you know, an airline pilot doesn't get to fly the real plane until he's proven himself in the simulator. So it's a very similar thing. So I use iRacing on the sim, and I mainly use the Porsche Cup. So the 991 and the new 992. Some habits are good, some aren't so good. We've learnt that. Even some things today that I've carried over from sim racing. It has, you know, it's not what you want to be doing in the car. It's just pushing too hard too early, which you can't do in the sim. Because if you do stack it, then you can just hit reset. You can't really do that in these cars. So it's been tricky for me to sort of hold back at the start in sessions and just sort of build into it. But yeah, the car that I use is the Porsche Cup car. It's widely used in the iRacing community. with some very quick guys, even real race car drivers who enjoy the sim. So yeah, quite like to finish this season off on a high, just get some solid results in, because I think where we've been in the past 2 rounds isn't really an indication of the pace that we have in the team, and that's proven with Justin Allen, who's been very fast, and he's second in the championship, I think. So he's been quick, so we know that there's nothing wrong with the car. It's just me that I've got to sort of keep building on what I'm doing, and get up with those experienced cars at the front. And yeah, I mean, I'd quite like to do another season of 86 just as a development thing, and get right up the front. A few race wins would be awesome. Podiums this season is the goal. A few of them would put us on give us a good starting point. So yeah, I'd like to do Porsches. Obviously, the Heart of Racing, whom I'm very lucky to be with, have got their team in America. They run GT3 Aston Martin in IMSA, so that would sort of be the dream. That would be awesome. But anywhere I can get to, I'll be very fortunate and very appreciative of it. We knew someone at the Heart of Racing, and we sort of built the connection up during the enduro rounds a couple of seasons ago, and from there it was just a case of asking the question of whether 86 was something that the Heart of Racing would be interested in, and came through about a month later. So I'm very happy. I feel like I've worked really hard to get this, because my family wouldn't have been able to fund me to race in 86, although it is a reasonably cheap series to run in compared to other motorsport series. It's motorsport. It's always going to be somewhat expensive. So to get the Heart of Racing is really special to me, and I feel like I've earned it through the hard work that I went through to get it from them. So it's great. I mean, they're very experienced. Obviously, they do things sort of in some ways the old-fashioned way, which I actually quite like. My dad also used to run with them when they ran his Porsche Cup car, 996. So we already knew some of the people there, which was nice. It wasn't hard to feel welcomed into the team. For sure, they're going to be hard on me, and I quite like it. It's great. I think I've got the best team on the grid, who have a mix of experience and some new young guys, engineers who are doing a fantastic job. So yeah, I think I'm very lucky. Yeah, Michael Scott. So he's got a lot of experience in 86. He ran the slick tyre, which is a bit different to what we run now with the Nexon. But yeah, it's very helpful to have an ex-driver as an engineer. You know, they believe the things that you say, and they can relate to you, especially if they've driven and raced that car, and especially with how well he did. I think he was second in a championship in one season. So yeah, I think that's absolutely ideal for me. Wouldn't not want an ex-driver. I think they all do their job pretty well at IMS, but I think it's ideal for me from where I've come from.
And the 86 Championship is back on track this weekend at Pukekohe, along with the Ryco 24/7 V8 Utes. Get your tickets from Speedworks Events or join us for the live stream on the Speedworks Facebook page. Coming up, Andrew Waite takes to the track in the GR Yaris and looks back at a classic Toyota from the 90s. Welcome back to Toyota GAZOO Racing Hour, where it's time to check out more from round 3 of the Toyota 86 Championship with highlights from races 3 and 4.
On to race 3, and as you can see, conditions have really deteriorated. Lights on and wipers on as the two leaders. Rowan Shepherd getting the better, though, this time of Simon Evans. McCutcheon going round the outside, and Hugo Allen in the fight in third. Justin Allen just behind them. But there was bound to be mistakes in these conditions. Rowan Shepherd having a great weekend, having won one race and now looking for 2, gets ahead of Evans. Behind them, McCutcheon and fellow youngster Hugo Allen battling it out as another youngster, this time Brock Gilchrist in the Corvette number 10, slides into the grass and manages to keep going. but there was bound to be attrition in these sorts of conditions. And as they finished another lap, Hugo Allen was clean in third place, but the battle was on between McCutcheon, the Formula Ford champion, and Dion Pitt as they went side by side. Justin Allen just behind them in the Napa car, and as they go into two, it gets dicey, a touch there. Dion Pitt almost gets spun round. That gives Allen the chance to catch up. And likewise, Marco Giltrap in on the action with Justin Allen, and Pitt trying to hold both of them off as they come into four. Side by side now, Allen and Giltrap. Giltrap tries, but he can't get the grip and has to slot back in behind Allen. Meanwhile, as the leaders came to the sweeper for the final time, Rowan Shepherd in race 3, looking for victory over Simon Evans. And Evans, try as he might in the Smeg, wet and forget car could do nothing about Rowan Shepherd, who comes to the line and takes victory at Hampton Downs and narrows that gap that started at 61 points at the beginning of the weekend on Simon Evans, the championship leader. Across the line in third, Matthew McCutcheon. Hugo Allen in fourth. On to the fourth and final race from Hampton Downs at the halfway point of this championship, and another good clean start. Hugo Allen on the grass for a moment, but somehow survives. Pitt tries to challenge him round the outside as into the lead goes Evans. Right behind him though, Rowan Shepherd. Pitt survives on the outside, gets back on, and they're side by side for third place. Pitt and Hugo Allen. Allen winning that battle. Gilchrist in the thick of it with Justin Allen. Gilchrist in the Carebets car. Then Rowan Shepherd side by side with the championship leader. Goes very wide. They're side by side again all the way to two. Somehow Rowan Shepherd looks as though he might make it then. Evans makes a pass. Can't quite do it there, but definitely Shepherd with the better car. Meanwhile, Hugo Allen and Dion Pitt side by side across the line again. Excellent battles, and here comes Shepherd now around the outside at one again. He just can't do it, and once again Evans holds him off. This would be a ding-dong battle for the rest of the race. This time at the Dipper. Can he do it this time? No, says Evans. Shepherd again rebuilding as they head towards the sweeper and pulling ahead. Meanwhile, John Penny holding off fellow experienced driver Justin Allen, who nicely makes his way in the 99 pass, and likewise Gilchrist in the number 10 comes alongside Allen. Shepherd tries again at turn 2. Will he make it this time? Yes, clean pass as into the lead goes Rowan Shepherd. A classic maneuver at Hampton Downs, and Evans can do nothing about it, complaining of brake problems during this race. Dion Pitt getting a nudge from behind. Pitt's been in the wars all weekend, but driving superbly. Evidence of that as he passes the championship leader in the number 4, Simon Evans. But no stopping Rowan Shepherd as he takes yet another victory, narrowing the gap. Dion Pitt comes over the line in second, and Hugo Allen is third. Simon Evans recovers to 4th place, but loses major points after Hampton.
We return to Hampton Downs now and to the club circuit. It's the ideal venue to test your car, and in our case, the Toyota Yaris GR, that pocket rocket, alongside its rally-inspired predecessor, the Toyota Seleca Gt4 ST205.
Welcome to the club circuit here at Hampton Downs. My name's Andrew Wade. I've been lucky enough to drive this car around the track all over New Zealand, but it's time I give you guys a bit more of an in-depth insight on the car. It is so much fun, this car. It's a 3-cylinder, 250 horsepower beast. What a fantastic package. The powerhouse behind this is a 3-cylinder 1600 turbo engine, and the sound that comes out of it is just awesome. This car, you can seriously tell that it's inspired by the WRC car. It was even built on its own assembly line. Look at the features, the 2-door, the big wide arches, the wheels, lightweight BBS wheels, the bucket seats. This car is seriously a driver's car. Enough talk about the car, let's get out on track and experience what it's all about. Straight away when I put my foot down, you can hear the turbos rolling away. What a beautiful sound. 3-cylinder, hard to believe that a 3-cylinder can really sound like that. And as well, the handling, it sits so flat. Letting the car run out to the exit. It's just asking for you to go faster. Nice manual gearbox, real precise in the gear changes. You can feel it all the way way through. So the way it drives is just incredible. And then back on the brakes, down a gear. Best way to describe it, it just puts a smile on the dial. An instant torque as well, the power. What a fun car. The more you rev it, the more it smiles back at you. What an angry sound for a little 3-cylinder car. So down into the heaviest braking zone here at the Hampton Downs Club Circuit. Hard on the brakes, you can hear the ABS working, beeping away, hazard lights coming on. And this is what Toyota GR is all about. What they're doing with the cars now is just so cool. I think it's only 3 parts that come out of the original Yaris that they put into the Yaris GR to then turn it into what is just such a beast. Obviously the development with the WRC side of things, you can see that the relationship is there, and what a fun car. What a fantastic little car. Who would have thought you could pack so much fun into such a little package like this? This GR Yaris is an incredible car. Imagine if they had the same idea 30 years ago. And here it is, the 1994 Toyota Seleca Gt4, built specifically to help get Toyota to the World Rally Championship. This particular car came optioned with the OZ Racing wheels. How good do they look? It's on risers for the rear spoiler just to lift it back up. That's a bit more of the GT4 put into it. And then also the Recaro seats. This is the heart of the car. Before we even open the bonnet, look at the scoops. The way it's designed, it's definitely ready for WRC territory. Let's open the bonnet up and have a good look. 250 horsepower from a 2-litre twin-cam turbo engine. It even has the plumbing installed for the anti-lag system. 4-wheel drive, same amount of horsepower as the Yaris. Let's go take it for a drive. It's incredible to think that this is 30 years old. Just looking over the bonnet, you can tell that this car has been made for performance. You can see the little scoops over the bonnet. There's a little wing that covers the windscreen wipers to stop them from moving around at high speeds. We're going down into turn 1 of the club circuit here at Hampton Downs. Impressive how flat it sits here. We're on the gas, you can hear the turbo spooling up again. You really feel part of the car. Just little things like on the dash here, we've got a little gauge that shows how much turbo boost we've got going on. So as you put your foot down, you can see it go right up to maximum. We're building the RPM up, 6,000 RPM there, up the gears, back on the brakes. You can see the gauge now dropping right back into vacuum. What a cool car. You can hear a little bit of tire squeal. The full drive system allows us to get on the gas nice and early out of the corners, and we're back on the brakes again. The steering's actually quite stiff for what does have power steering. Maybe it's been turned down to allow you to have that little bit of extra feel through the steering and feel exactly what's going on the road. As I cool the car off here, you just can't help but think that the car has just been so well designed and just so much thought has gone into the fact that it is going to be used for WRC. What a great car. Well, what a difference 30 years makes. 2 very similar philosophies with completely different outcomes. But there is one big difference between these cars. The Yaris, you can still find this on the showroom floor, but the Seleca, good luck trying to find one.
And thanks to Hampton Downs team for the time at the track, and you can register to become an HD Auto member and join the fun at the club circuit at one of many training days. Get in, you'll love it. Hey, coming up, and we look at the future of Toyota's car lineup for 2023.
It's really tricky to know the pathways when you step from kart into car racing.
This is something that's been needed for a long time, and without this sort of stuff, we've got nowhere to go.
Welcome to the Hampton Downs NZ Racing Academy.
Here at the Racing Academy, we give you the total skill set to compete at the front of car racing. We have 6 packages that start from the very first transition from karting into a car, all the way to specialised one-on-one tuition in the FT50.
We can cater for absolutely everybody. If you've got an interest in car racing, you can come along to the academy. We can teach you from level 1 all the way through to level 6. We have 2 types of car on offer. We have the FT50 Toyota Racing Series car and the Toyota RS6. We have in-car instructors. We have dual controls. We run a V-Box for data and for video.
New Zealand has a rich history of successful motor racing drivers. This academy will play a critical part in your pathway to becoming a champion.
Drivers that can come in with absolutely no car racing experience, it gives you the right grounding to take on New Zealand and take on the world.
Some of the talent that's here that they're going to be working in the academy, passing on some of the skill sets is, people that have definitely proven themselves, in the top areas of motorsport. There's no shortage of skills there to pass on to those that come to the academy.
We can guarantee you'll leave the academy a better, more refined driver. Start your journey at the Hampton Downs NZ Racing Academy today.
The HD Academy runs using Toyota race cars exclusively, and if you're interested, then get in touch to find out more about the next session. Toyota GAZOO Racing has been producing some exciting new cars over the past couple of years, and there is more to come. So we sat down with Andrew Davis from Toyota New Zealand to take a look into the future.
We've had GR Supra for a couple of years now. That's gone through its second iteration, so it's had an engine update to 285 kilowatts. What you're seeing more of now from a global view with sports cars is different brands connecting. So Supra was a partnership with BMW, which has enabled us to kind of get into the performance stable or performance arms of both companies. So we've got Supra, we've had that for a little while. There's a bit more happening with Supra this year that we can talk about in a couple of months. We've also got GR Yaris, which has just been such a spectacular car. It's been just amazingly well received by Kiwis. We've sort of sold out of everything we can get, but we're getting more this year, which is really cool. GR Yaris, it was born and bred as a WRC car that didn't make it to WRC, but that technology made it to consumers, and you just see the smile on people's faces when they drive that car. It's a phenomenal little car. So we've got Supra, we've got Yaris, we've got quite a few what we call GR Sport models coming. So Land Cruiser 300 is just a new vehicle for us. GR Sport's quite a cosmetic update. And Land Cruiser being what it is, it's more about off-road capability. So the performance enhancements for a Land Cruiser 300 GR is actually about suspension and technology and those sorts of things. So, there's a lot of development that goes into these vehicles and what they should be used for, and then we're branding it GR. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, so the Tokyo Auto Salon launched 2 whole new variations. GR Yaris is a known vehicle, but the updates for what we're calling the GR MN edition just adds more power, much lighter sort of bodywork in it, and a different gearbox setup. And then obviously the GT3 car, which, when you get to that flagship stuff, it's pretty polarising, and it has been ever since we've announced it, but really exciting. I think the strategy there fits what we do here really well. It's about customers wanting to go and race their cars. So the Yaris at the moment is unfortunately only available in Japan. It's 500 units. It's connected in with the stores that you purchase it from. So the intention is you buy the car, you connect with the dealership or store you bought it from, and they give you updates on the car depending upon what you do. Kind of like you do at a track here if you had a team that you were running for. So that's the intention of that car. The GT3 car is kind of a whole new concept. We don't have all the details of it yet, but man, the pictures look outstanding, so I can't wait to see the specification of it. We've had hybrid technology for a number of years now, obviously starting with Prius and now going through our whole range. We've seen New Zealanders take on hybrid like we didn't think they would over the last couple of years, but the mainstream of hybrid technology has made a massive difference, and that's just transitioning into more electrification, as we call it, which includes plug-ins, EVs, hybrids, sort of everything. So yeah, the first Toyota full EV comes out later this year. The images are all online. It looks pretty similar to a RAV4, which is massively popular for customers here. So we think it'll be an awesome car for us and for New Zealand customers. And yeah, full EV, so it'll have all of the right technology, really strong range and good performance. Finding New Zealand's next world champion has been the proposition for TRS for a long time. That still remains, and when you look at the success of the category, which we talk about a lot, it's been amazing. So it's frustrating over the last couple of years we haven't been able to give quite as good a platform as we'd liked. Last year was still good with a couple of the Kiwis able to go on. Matthew Payne's success has been really awesome last year. Looking into this year, obviously with the cars not running, we can't provide that platform, but hey, we'll be back next year and we'll be bigger than ever, and I think with some of the the conversations we're having around GAZOO racing, the whole motorsport arm of Toyota getting stronger and getting bigger, there's no better time than having a category like TRS. So I'm sure when we come out of the blocks, hopefully next year, it'll be the usual full field, lots of talent, lots of opportunity for Kiwis. Yeah, so TRS since its inception has been really a Kiwi thing, more so than global. In the last couple of years with GAZOO coming on stream, Japan have connected more closely with our motorsport categories. We're now part of the Japanese TGR-NZ platform as a region that's supported, so there's a good keen eye on what happens here from a motorsport view. And TRS, just because it's so well established, it is something they certainly keep an eye out for. And I can't overlook as well, there's lots of other Toyota GAZOO racing arms and distributors all around the globe, and we're all connecting together a lot, you know, through NASCAR, through Australia, Argentina, Europe, lots of countries. So it's really cool to be able to kind of share the experiences, share what we're all doing around the globe. So it's good to be a part of it. Yeah, we're really excited about the success of 86. The category's been around for a little while. It's a great platform for youth to come in. We've got 10 rookies this year, so lots of new names and faces. I think we're looking for an opportunity in a common car where they can come and show their ability, and 86 offers a great platform for that. So it's a massive season, and we can't wait for it to carry on. The first round we're in now, first race has been awesome, so we'll see what happens from here.
Coming up, John Penny shows us why the Toyota 86 Championship is not just for the young drivers. Yes, the Toyota 86 Championship along with the Ryco 24/7 Utes in an action-packed day tomorrow at Pukekohe. Tickets are still available from Event Finder, or you can join us live on Facebook from 10:15 tomorrow. Now, along with the drivers making their mark in the Toyota 86 racing is veteran John Penny, one of the drivers going for the Masters title. Along with it, a chance to win a drive in an 86 at the 2022 Bathurst 1000.
Hi, I'm John Penny, 45 plus some GST, and I live in Taupō. I was in Christchurch, and Jeff Short was at that time, I think, become the manager to try and sort of, you know, get more people involved, and he gave me a call. I was actually with Paul Kelly at the time and said, listen, would you like to come out and try one of these Toyota 86s? And I sort of said, well, yeah, agreed to it, but didn't really have much sort of, you know, I suppose thought of going further. So I went out there, and Paul and I got into this little bit of a duel, who could go the fastest, sat down the Toyota 86, and actually really enjoyed the car. I did. So Jeff being a salesman, and I suppose me being, you know, sort of a listening to the guy, I agreed to do it for that first year. And it was sort of that year we were on slicks, and there weren't a lot of guys doing it. It was maybe only 8 or 9 in the group, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was cheap in the sense of motorsport, and I could certainly see that if the recipe was there, and if we could just entice more young guys and potentially older guys, that it would go places, you know. So that was the first year that I did it, and really enjoyed it that much that I've come back. For me, it's more about racing. I want to race anybody and everyone. That's in my DNA, and I've always done it. I raced motocross from the age of 13, and it's just what I love doing. So, of course, I want to try and win the championship. I'm probably a little bit optimistic when I'm saying that. Yeah, so the Masters is important. Yes, it is, but it's more important for me just to race and try and better myself against the young guys. And certainly this year, the way the class is, you know, unfolded with 21 or 22 on the grid, full of rock stars, really young guys, you know. It's just great really to be out there and having a crack. I'm not scared of it. In fact, you know, I sort of relish on it and look forward to it. And as I say, I want to get better. And look, we've got a great team with Action Motorsport. I mean, there's 5 of us in there. And to be fair, probably on any given day, I might be the slowest. So, you know, it's good to go and look at that data and actually just see how they're doing it. And it's sort of, these cars are a little bit different to some other race cars that I've driven. So it's sort of learning different style and different techniques as well. So actually I really enjoyed it. And it's, as I say, if I'm always improving, well then I'm happy to do so, you know. So I started in the NZ V8s, and that was a big part of it with Motec and, you know, learning on that side of it. Then I went to the Super Tours, and certainly that was a really big part, I mean, with the Triple M boys and Paul Manuel and Greg Murphy and that side of it. So, no, not all. It's always been there, and always something, a very, very amazing tool, you know, to learn.
Drag race between the Action Motorsport teammates, and it's Dion pit 5. JP's going to nick it on the line. Oh, turn it up.
But I actually did it in 2017, was when Ash Blewett won the championship, and a drive came available for me. I mean, I had to pay for it, but it was sort of subsidised. and I took old Neil Allport over, and we sort of had a go. And look, it was now that was scary. 44 cars on the grid, and they all want to be the next sort of Craig Lowndes, and qualified didn't go that well. So I call it, I was stuck in the Bermuda Triangle, and you know it was action from all angles. So look, yeah, but I always said I'd go back, and so if I get the opportunity and it comes off, I'll be back there for sure. Look, I think they're a great car. I mean, if you look at the pedigree of races that are in here now, they've really come from karts, and they want to go tin top racing. I think this is the first step, and we talked about the data that's there. There's a lot of support too. I think that Toyota run an amazing professional championship here, and I think personally, I think it's a pinnacle of motorsport right now, regardless of whether you're talking horsepower, just think the overall package. So I think for a young guy coming into and wanting to further his career in tin top racing, I think this is amazing and probably the best platform right now for it. And teaches them, as I say, it's all about the craft, and there's none better when you've got 22 cars battling. So I can certainly see that you know the advantage and why they'd be wanting to progress this way and further their career. I do a bit of endurance racing, and you know, and I enjoy that. But to be fair, I just want to go racing, and it could be in a car with 50 horsepower or 750 horsepower. I just love hopping out of the car with that feeling, that buzz, having a good race with somebody, and being competitive. So I suppose while I'm still competitive and I I'll keep going, whether it's in the 286s or whatever I can drive, but certainly for now, I'll be back next year for sure. So Kelly and I started Penny Homes 24 years ago, and it's been probably one hell of a ride, really. We've certainly had plenty ups and some downs, but this last property cycle had just gone on and on. So, you know, we were sort of saving our sort of acorns about 3 years ago, and it just went to another level when COVID hit, and I never saw that coming. Hey, it's a good thing, don't get me wrong. We do a lot of social housing for the government. We're only one of 5 companies actually on a panel that we get guaranteed X amount of houses a year. These are homes for the needy. So what we do is basically take a site that's got one house on it and intensify it and do 6 or 7 or 8 odd houses in there. So it's a very high pressure program as well. We have to deliver, and we have to deliver them fast. And with the issues that are going on with supply in New Zealand right now, it is quite challenging. But it's a very rewarding job too, finishing these houses and seeing these families that have potentially been living in cars or, you know, with whānau 18 or 19 in a shed, and then they're moving into their own home and seeing their face and the changes that it makes to their life, having a home that's, you know, dry and clean and all those sorts of things. So yeah, there's a lot of upside to it, and it's something that I really enjoy. And as I say, you know, the government's still got a long way to go. We have got a long way to go. And it is starting to ramp up. I know it got off to a slow start with the Kiwi build thing. That was a bit of a, I'd better be careful what I say, but it got off to a slow start, but it's certainly starting to gather momentum now, and I think everybody involved is doing a very good job.
We'll be back here on the 25th of March previewing the final round of the Toyota 86 Championship from Taupo International Racetrack. Until then, good night.